Today, the Department of Justice announced a multi-million-dollar settlement with one of the state's largest banking institutions, Washington Trust. The bank is accused of redlining or discriminatory lending in majority Black and Hispanic communities. 12 News reporter Alex Torres-Perez joins us now live with how that money is being used. Alex?
Well, Mike, each and every single one of those $9 million will be going towards a loan and credit opportunities for Black and Hispanic communities across the state. And this comes as U.S. attorneys say that Washington Trust actually knowingly prevented these people from having the opportunities to get out those loans.
A recent study on Black home ownership in Rhode Island found significant gaps across the state.
While 62% of people in Rhode Island own their homes, only 30% of Black people in Rhode Island own a home.
That's why the Department of Justice is going after banks to make sure everyone has the same opportunity.
These stark gaps are a product of systemic deprivation of credit and wealth building opportunities, including in the form of redlining.
Washington Trust is the latest bank accused of discriminatory lending. They will now have to take steps to change that as part of a $9 million federal settlement.
Through this agreement, we are sending a strong message to the financial industry that we will not stand for discriminatory and unlawful barriers in residential mortgage lending.
In the agreement, Washington Trust agreed to invest $7 million in a loan subsidy fund to increase access to home mortgages and loans.
That $7 million figure represents what we believe is the amount of lending that did not occur in these areas as a result of Washington Trust's past practices. We expect that the $7 million loan subsidy fund will generate approximately $70 million in mortgage loans in these neighborhoods.
The bank will also devote another $2 million towards outreach, financial education, and a community development partnership. The first Washington Trust branch in a majority Black and Hispanic neighborhood will also open up. One will be in Olneyville and another branch at an undetermined location.
We're confident that the actions that are required by our agreement will expand credit opportunities in communities of color across the state of Rhode Island. And we encourage other lenders to be proactive in evaluating their fair lending risks and in embracing opportunities to better serve all communities.
Washington Trust denies all of the allegations regarding discriminatory lending. The company says it only agreed to settle to avoid a lawsuit and to focus on serving the community.
And a third party will be responsible to making sure that the bank does take the appropriate actions as agreed on in the settlement. As for when Washington Trust has to come up with all these actions, that's yet to be determined as we're waiting for a federal judge to sign the agreement. Reporting live in Providence, Alex Torres-Perez, 12 News.
First tonight, one of Rhode Island's largest banks has agreed to pay millions to settle allegations of racial discrimination.
Federal investigators claim they uncovered evidence of redlining by Washington Trust, something the bank denies.
12 News reporter Alex Torres-Perez joins us live with a breakdown of the accusations and what the bank had to say. Alex?
Well, Shannon, Mike, U.S. attorneys say Washington Trust knowingly avoided providing credit service to Black and Hispanic communities in the state for years.
The institution that refers to itself as your local Rhode Island bank and financial partner, now accused of redlining and discriminating against communities because of their race or ethnicity.
Redlining harms communities of color by denying them equal access to credit and the opportunity to build wealth. It also contributes to the widening racial wealth gap in the United States.
The U.S. Attorney's Office says it all started when the bank decided to expand across the state in 2016.
And when it did that, it took on the obligation to serve all communities.
But the U.S. Attorney's Office says Washington Trust failed to do so. The complaint says the bank failed to open any branches in a majority Black and Hispanic neighborhood. Attorneys also looked at the bank's loan application data and found other competing banks received nearly 4 times as many loan applications each year from the Black and Hispanic communities with many approvals.
Which demonstrates that there were thousands of qualified borrowers for home loans and sufficient mortgage demand in those communities.
Investigators also claim the bank knew what it was doing.
Internal documents, including from their compliance department, as well as external assessments, told them that they were not adequately servicing these areas.
But U.S. attorneys say the bank still failed to take any action. Washington Trust, quote, vehemently denies the allegations and entered into this agreement solely to avoid the expense and distraction of potential litigation and to allow the bank to focus fully on serving the needs of its customers and communities.
Washington Trust will now have to pay $9 million, and all of that money will go towards expanding access to loans and mortgages for Black and Hispanic communities here in our state. A third party will be in charge of making sure that the bank does spend that money correctly. Reporting live in Providence, Alex Torres Perez, 12 News.